diesel heater. This is the new one I just got off Amazon. I think I paid 78 bucks for her. I just got her installed and I'm running the first test on her. She's blowing out pretty hot. You can barely keep your hand right there. It's pumping a lot of heat. 2 years ago I ran one of these in this room and it kept the room at about 72 degrees even on the coldest days. It's about 5 gallons a week of diesel fuel is what it runs. This setup I sort of did different. I added that in the back because before I had a hose going into there and that was always open and I always had to pull it out and it always made a mess down there. So this time they come with one of these, so I installed it. You see it goes up to the pump and the filter and it goes down underneath and up into the heater. You can see how I put a plate back there. That exhaust there gets really hot. I mean, it's like 500 to 700 degrees. So what I did was I just made a bigger hole in the wood and made a smaller hole in the metal plate and put it right through it. I got to seal it up yet. I got some high temp sealer that I'm going to use on that side and the outside. This other tube is your air intake. Your exhaust will go outside, blah, 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 blah. Your fuel lines, I've never really had any issues with them leaking. It's all 12 volt system. I built this power supply out of a computer power supply. You can see I added a voltmeter. It's running kind of low for this system, but it works. I used it for a year on the other system, but this is a power supply out of a computer that I modified. Put some terminals up on top. Pretty easy to do if you're familiar with that stuff. You can get a power supply anywhere. I think some people use battery chargers. They hook up to them. Those seem to work. But you can see how I got the fuel lines all running. And you can see how I got it all supported there. This is the bin. It comes with a bunch of different things you could do. I just got one of those on here, but it does come with a Y and another piece and another vent like that, so you can run it 2 different locations. But that's how I got her all set up. Like I say, it's a lot cheaper than running this goddamn thing up here. I rigged this up. It ran it last year in here, but it's just so expensive. I ended up redoing the inside of this. I added a switch and a transformer in there. You see the transformer I added, and that enables me to run a smart thermostat. But it's, like I say, it eats so much juice. It's kind of spendy to run. My place is a mess right now. This is my man cave. But like I say, I saved so much money from running this system here 2 years ago. I'm going back to it. I got one out in my shop out there, and it keeps that. Last year, even on low, I had to open the door because it got so hot in there. And that's 2 stories, so if that gives you any idea. This room here, I think is 25 by 25. It's a mess right now, but it kept this like 72 degrees on low all through winter. About 5 gallons of diesel a week, which is a lot cheaper than the electric I was running. That thing's expensive. But here, I'll take you outside and show you the setup. I gotta put this muffler on yet. If you install the muffler, you want it up like this because condensate will drip out that little hole there. So you gotta have this pointing up. I'll take you outside and show you how I did the window box. It's not too loud. This is without the muffler. So you can see how I did the same thing as on the inside. I'll probably point that way. But this will go on like that. and I'll probably have it pointed that way. That's how I did the window box. I just ran a 2x4 straight across on the inside. I cut it to match the width of the window there, and then I just screwed this board cut. And I put weather stripping all the way around. Keep air from getting in there. But yeah, 78 bucks, 5 gallons of diesel a week. Really can't beat it. It's 12-volt system, so you can run it off a battery, you can run it off your car. A lot of people put them in their van life, or whatever they call that, the vans that they do. A lot of semi drivers do them. I was just going to show my generator set up here real quick. But I got it all set up. The generator plugs right in there, and I got a shut off switch in there. But anywho, back to the diesel heater. Like I say, it's $78. You really can't beat it. One nice thing about me is I work for an oil company, so a lot of my diesel's free. When we drain water off tanks and so forth, we get a whole bunch of diesel out of them, and I just wait for it to separate, suck the diesel off. And that year that I ran it in here, I don't think I had to pay for diesel all year long. But yeah, it's definitely a good buy. It's a 12-volt system, so you can run off a car battery, you can run off any 12-volt power supply that you can think of. A lot of your devices come with like a cord with a box on it that plugs to the device. Well, that's a 12-volt power supply. You can rig those up. I'm eventually going to bring my battery box up here, and I'm going to set it right there, and that's going to run the system. It's nice having the power supply, but I don't know, I like the battery box. Power goes out, my heat's still working just fine. If I go camping or anything, I take the battery box, and I'm eventually going to rig one of these up into like a tote or something, a box, and just have a duct that I can take out camping or run it to my vehicle or whatever, and have the box sitting outside with a battery box. But this is my third one. I got 3 of these, and I've been running for probably 4 or 5 years now, and you can't beat it. It's the only way to go. Anybody got any questions, just holler at me.